In this question, there are a number of things that you need to do. The first thing is you are asked to solve quadratic equation x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0 by factoring. Afterwards, you are asked to draw a graph or sketch a graph of a quadratic function y equals x squared minus 2x minus 8 and find its x-intercepts. Afterwards, you are asked to compare the two answers and see what happens. So let's do it step by step then. Let's try first to solve this quadratic equation by factoring. And you know, when you try and factorize it, you will have x as the first term of these two brackets. And you need to find two numbers whose product is negative 8 and whose sum is negative 2. So then those numbers are negative 4 and positive 2. Applying zero product property, then you can derive a conclusion that x minus 4 is 0 or x plus 2 is 0. So from the first possibility, when you add 4 both sides, you get one possible answer for x, which is x equals 4. And from the second possibility, when you subtract 2 both sides, then you get x equals negative 2 as your second answer. Now, let's try and use our GDC to sketch this graph of quadratic function. You know how to do this already, so I've typed the formula of the function here. And when we press graph, then you can see how the graph of the parabola looks like. And let's try and find the two x-intercepts in this case. So we go to second, calculate or trace. So choose number 2 to find the 0. So I see my cursor is blinking next to the x-intercept on the right. So I'm just going to move it to just before the point, the x-intercept. And press enter. Afterwards, I move it to just after the point and press enter. And pressing enter one more time, then you get one x-intercept, which is x equals 4. So we are going to just plot it here right away. X equals 4 is somewhere here. Okay. And repeating this process one more time, then we will try and get the other x-intercept. So here in this case, we are going to move the cursor just before the point, the x-intercept, and press enter. And we get the second x-intercept, which is x equals negative 2. So the plot is somewhere here. So I'm going to just try and roughly sketch the parabola. Might not look very pretty, but okay. So we get here, our first x-intercept is negative 2, and the second one is x equals 4. And when you compare these two answers with the answers of our quadratic equation solution, then they are actually exactly the same numbers. So as a conclusion, you can see that we can solve quadratic equation using GDC, and the way to do it is just to sketch the graph of the quadratic formula and find its x-intercepts. And those x-intercepts give you the answer of the quadratic equation.